Hey guys, it's Maddie from Let's Eat Plants, and today we are doing some meal prep. So in my last video, which was a grocery haul, I talked a lot about some of the things that I buy every week and things that we like to kind of meal prep every week. So today I want to go ahead and show you kind of how we do that. Basically, I go through and wash a bunch of veggies first, cook a lot of things that are easier to have cooked and on hand ready to go. And also I'm going to make a couple different grains and proteins to have on hand, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Well, it's gonna be a lot of work, but it will feel so nice to have everything done and ready to go. This is actually how Q and I love to do it for the week. We used to do those little individual boxes where you have like all your food in one container ready to go. You can just reheat the whole entire thing in a microwave. However, since he and I have been working from home lately, it is a lot easier just to have lots of different prepared foods all ready to go in the fridge, things that you can mix and match and reheat. So basically, I'll just do a few different types of grains, a few different beans, lots of different veggies, and just have everything cooked that you can add into a bowl at the end of the day, or you can add into a stir fry, or add into a soup, or however you like to eat your fruits, veggies, grains, beans, etc. And this way you also just get a lot more variety in your meals. You don't have to eat the same thing over and over for the next like 5 days in a row. So first thing you're gonna see is I'm just gonna wash and prep a lot of the veggies. I think in my last grocery haul I mentioned we got some broccoli, some bok choy, some gailan peppers that I can roast. So I'm just gonna start with those and get most of the vegetables ready, and then we will move on to the more fun things, some roasted chickpeas. I'm gonna do some crispy baked tofu today, and also the grains. I hope you guys are ready. Let's go ahead and get started. Now this is just plain table salt. I use this to soak my veggies with. I believe it was Dr. Greger who recommended that if you don't have organic produce, you can easily just soak it in some salt water. Supposedly salt is the best for removing pesticides. I was pretty shocked by that. I thought it would have been vinegar or baking soda or something like that. But he says it's salt, so I just go ahead and use regular table salt and let my veggies soak in that. And of course I would prefer to buy organic whenever possible, but sometimes it's not possible. So we'll just do this salt water soak for about 10 or 15 minutes and then rinse everything off again and go ahead and cut it up. So first up, I'm going to roast some bell peppers and also some sweet potato. Now, I do my sweet potatoes very, very basically. I basically just rinse them and then poke a couple holes so they don't explode. I don't know if that's an urban legend or not, but supposedly your potatoes and sweet potatoes can explode if the air can't escape while they're baking. So I always just poke a couple holes, and if I were going to eat the skin, I would scrub them very thoroughly, but I'm lazy. So I decide just not to eat the skin. I just rinse them, and then you can easily peel the skin off once they're baked, and they're so delicious baked. If you haven't had a baked sweet potato, definitely try them out baked. They are my favorite way to eat them. So I'm just gonna bake a couple of these at the same time as I am baking the bell peppers. They both bake at 400 degrees. The bell peppers take a little bit less time, but they'll both at least be cooking at the same temperature, which is what we want. And then after that, I will use the oven to roast our chickpeas. And next I'm going to start off some beans in the Instant Pot. These are just a basic white kidney bean. I like to have a big batch of beans on hand, and what I end up making with the beans will depend on what kind of bean it is that I'm cooking. So with white kidney beans, they're really good to add into things like sauces or salad dressings because they just don't have much taste or flavor. So usually I like to use these for things like that. I might make a pesto. Like I mentioned in my last video, I just bought some basil. So we might make a pesto with this or some other kind of dressing or something like that. So I'm just gonna do about 1.5 cups of these white kidney beans in the Instant Pot. Those will take a while to cook. So while I'm prepping all the other veggies, hopefully those will cook, and then we can use the Instant Pot for our next thing, which I think will be quinoa. Quinoa or oatmeal, I'll decide later. But let's go ahead and cook the beans first. So I like to use a piece of dried kombu in my beans, but that of course is optional. I've just heard it's a little bit better for reducing gas and other things that go along with beans. So I like to do it every single time, but if you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can just cook the beans as usual in your Instant Pot. Now these guys, I totally forgot, Q likes to cut off the bottom and then cut them lengthwise down the middle because he said sometimes like dirt and sand can get trapped in between the leaves. So I am gonna just cut them all first and give them one more wash just to make sure there's no like hidden dirt or anything inside of there. And then once these are rinsed and dried, they will be ready to either store in a Tupperware and you can just keep them ready to be cooked, or I'm probably gonna do a couple batches of steaming and that way we have some cooked already. We do like to keep both fresh, uncooked, and some of them cooked. So we're gonna do about half and half with this batch. So our first batch of steamed broccoli is done. I am working in batches because I only have one clean pot right now. The other one has a bunch of soup in it. So I'm just working in batches and I've done half the broccoli already. The other half is steaming now. And I like them a little bit al dente. I don't like them overcooked because this way, if you want to add them into a stir fry or into a soup, it might still cook a little bit longer once you put it into whatever new dish you're going to use it for. So I do keep them a little bit al dente. I cook them for about 4, maybe 5 minutes on medium-high heat. And now with these peppers, I'm just gonna slice these and keep them raw. I like to eat them both raw and cooked, but I do like to have some for snacking and or for salads. So these we'll just do into strips. That's an easy snacking size, and then go ahead and store them in a Tupperware. Okay, first batch of veggies basically is done, and I just let everything cool. I'm gonna put everything into the fridge now, with the exception of the roasted peppers. I'm gonna use these in a sauce with the white kidney beans, so that will be done later. We are gonna start our second round, which is more of like the protein-based round. I'm also gonna do some quinoa in the Instant Pot and our morning oats in the Instant Pot, so I'll just be cycling those in and out of the Instant Pot. And for the tofu, I'm just gonna do the crispy tofu recipe. If you guys haven't seen that video, I will link it in the corner as well as in the description box down below. So round 2, here we go. Okay, for our roasted chickpeas, I used to go ahead and dry them off because I read in so many different recipes that the way to get a crispy chickpea was to dry it thoroughly before you bake it. But one time I was really lazy and I was like, I don't want to dry off these chickpeas with a darn kitchen towel. What will happen if I just put the whole thing into the oven? So I tried it out and it worked totally fine. You couldn't even tell a difference. Well, that's not true. You do have to bake them a little bit longer sometimes. But other than that, like taste-wise, when you're eating it, you can't tell any difference. So that's what I've been doing since then. It's just so much easier not to have to dry them on a kitchen towel first. So basically you just take your chickpeas and drain out the liquid and then put them straight onto your baking sheet. Meal prep does take a while, not gonna lie. I just find that it's so convenient to have food ready to go. So nice to be able to just open the fridge and have things cooked, things you can easily throw into a bowl and microwave, or even just throw onto the stove and heat it up. So that's why I do it. I try and do it once or twice a week. And if you guys found this video useful or you enjoyed it at all, don't forget to give it a like down below. Also feel free to say hi in a comment down below. You know I love to hear from you guys. And of course, let's eat plants, and I will see you guys next time.